Hi, this is my ToK essay breakdown series for November 2024. In these videos, I'll be unpacking the key terms from the title, as well as looking at the question through the lens of two AOKs. For a much more detailed analysis, examples, and ideas for how to approach this title using the different AOKs and other ToK concepts, you can check out the full written guide, link in the description. So we're looking at Title 4, which is, to what extent do you agree that there is no significant difference between hypothesis and speculation? And you have to talk about the human sciences and another AOK for this one. Let's begin with the key terms. So the two important words from this title are, of course, hypothesis and speculation. So we can define hypothesis as a proposed explanation for a phenomenon or event that can be verified or falsified through testing or observation. Speculation, on the other hand, is more about considering possibilities, exploring what-if type scenarios, counterfactuals, so things which aren't necessarily immediately verifiable, if ever. Some points or themes that you should consider when answering this question. First of all, make sure you acknowledge that a spectrum exists between a well-supported hypothesis and wild speculation, because the two can definitely overlap. So you could examine the factors that move an idea along the spectrum, and this could include the amount or quality of evidence, the ability to test that idea, or the degree to which that idea integrates into existing knowledge. Also think about the functions of hypothesis and speculation, as they both play a role in knowledge production, and think about whether they are very different in this respect. So you might say, for instance, that hypotheses provide testable frameworks, whereas speculation is meant to stimulate imagination and open up new lines of inquiry. You can also think about the influence of perspectives on whether a claim is labeled as a hypothesis or simply speculation. So you can think about factors like the person who made the statement, for instance, if it's a scientist, whether they have an appropriate degree of expertise in the relevant area, or whether if it's a historian, whether their worldview has shaped their claims. Moving now into the AOKs, we'll begin with the compulsory one, the human sciences. And we can begin by thinking about a possible distinction that can be made between hypothesis and speculation in this AOK. We can say something along the lines of hypotheses offering testable explanations for human behavior and other phenomena, while speculation explores possibilities without immediate empirical grounding. For this example, we can talk about studies into the impact of social media on well-being, specifically by Professors Jeffrey Hall and Nicole Ellison. I'll be talking about an APA article by Summer Allen, which summarizes their research. And for the claim, we might say that there is a meaningful difference between hypothesis and speculation, and we can see this in the nature of some of the claims made by these researchers. So, for instance, Hall's suggestion that social media has a minimal negative impact on well-being compared to other factors like loneliness. This can be seen more as a hypothesis because it's pretty specific, it's grounded in observation, but it requires further testing. Ellison, in contrast, makes broader statements which highlight the unpredictable, more contextual nature of the impact of social media. And as these statements consider different and not so easily testable possibilities, they can be seen more as speculation. For the counterclaim, however, we might say that the line can blur between the two, as shown by suggestions made in the article regarding preliminary strategies for healthier social media habits, because while they're somewhat speculative, these suggestions offer actionable hypotheses and could guide future research or interventions in this area. Bring these ideas together in a mini conclusion, we could say that while the distinction between hypothesis and speculation does exist, it's important to recognize they lie on a spectrum and this example demonstrates how even speculative ideas can form actionable hypotheses, which drives further exploration. Okay, for the second AOK, we'll talk about history. So, beginning by thinking about what hypotheses and speculation might entail in this area, we can say that hypothesis focuses on what likely happened in history, while speculation deals with less certain questions and explores what might have been. So, a real life example we can use here is historian Niall Ferguson's claim that Britain's entry into the First World War was a strategic mistake. And for the claim, we can say that Ferguson's statements on this topic demonstrate the inherent challenges of separating hypothesis from speculation, as his analysis often blends evidence, counterfactual scenarios, and interpretation. For the counterclaim, however, we might say that Ferguson's statements also arguably highlight the distinction between bolder forms of speculation, so his kind of counterfactual view of history, and historical arguments grounded in more thorough evidence-based analysis. Bring these ideas together in a mini conclusion, we might say that this example shows that hypothesis and speculation can overlap in history, and while a distinction is desirable, the nature of evidence and interpretation often means that this isn't possible. Okay, well, I hope you found that useful. If you did, consider pressing like. And for essay guides as well as personal feedback, feel free to check out my website, toklifeline.com. Many thanks for watching.